Hello, my name is Osric and I'm going to give you some information or share with you my experience with owning an electric vehicle in Antigua. And just to let you know, this is not any advice for buying a vehicle or an electric vehicle. It's just me sharing my experience, and also for persons listening outside Antigua, all the cost and price I quote are in Eastern Caribbean dollars. So number one question, is it fast? And I own a 2015 Nissan Leaf and it's fast enough. It has a top speed of 90 miles per hour and 0 to 60 in under 13 seconds. And the 0 to 60 for your 2010 Vitz or Yaris is 10.3 seconds. Speed limits in Antigua are 40 miles an hour and 20 miles an hour on most roadways, and it's slower in built-up areas, so there's no real need for you to be driving very fast. The question, in my opinion, is really irrelevant. Is an electric vehicle fast? However, it's one of the things I get asked the most. The next question is, how or where do you charge it? I charge my electric vehicle at home. I have a level 2 wall-mounted charger, and it's really a matter of convenience. Reason I say that is I could use the charger that the car came with and plug it into an outlet, and the car will charge roughly at the same speed. It will take about 8 hours if it's near zero to get to 100% on a 220 volt outlet, that's 220 volts, or just about double the time if you're using a 110 outlet. So the main concern for most persons will be that you can park your car in a position where you can get it charged. So if that's your garage at home or near a porch, once you can get it charged wherever you're going to park it, that is going to be your main concern. What happens when there is no electricity? How do you charge it? What about your electricity bill? Is it expensive? Now that's a very good question. So according to APUA, and for those of you outside of Antigua, that's the Antigua and Barbuda Public Utilities Authority. According to their website, and at the time of doing this video, it's 40 cents per kilowatt hour. That's the rate they charge you, and 50% or 50 cents per dollar for every kilowatt hour for fuel variation charge. So those two things together will give you your cost. So for a 24 kilowatt hour battery, it's $10 plus fuel variation charge of $12, give you $22 to charge a 24 kilowatt hour battery. I think my vehicle has a 30 kilowatt hour battery, being a Japanese spec, and it's 12 plus 15, so that's $27 to charge my vehicle from 0 to 100%. So with that said, a 2021 Hyundai Kona Electric has a 64 kilowatt battery. So that's going to cost $57.60 to fully charge. Most of the EVs that you're going to get within that price range or above have similar size batteries or larger. So you're getting a lot of miles per charge in comparison to my Nissan Leaf. So the next question now is, how long does a charge last? Or how often do you have to charge? So just like any other vehicle, that depends on how much traveling you have to do and how you're doing that traveling. So if you're driving at moderate speeds, you get the best out of your vehicle. If you're driving very fast, you don't. Are you going up a hill? Are you going downhill? It really is the same laws of physics that govern efficiency for something in motion that applies to all vehicles. Most EVs available now are going to give you at least 150 to 200 miles of range on a full charge. That's charging about once a week for me. And then the other topic within this sphere is efficiency of the vehicle, because although vehicles may have similar size batteries, they may not give you the same range. Going back now to the Hyundai Kona, according to Hyundai, that vehicle is going to give you 258 miles on a full charge. And for me, and I mean me, that's 2 weeks without charging. The question is now, what is $57.60 worth of gasoline going to get you in a similarly optioned or similar vehicle? So the current cost of gasoline is $12.50. That means $57.60 is going to give you 4.608 gallons of gasoline. Now, according to Hyundai, the gas version of the 2021 Kona at best gives you 28 miles per gallon in the city. And the reason I'm using city numbers for miles per gallon is because Antigua has no highways. So highway miles per gallons are really irrelevant. So with that said, $57.60 is going to give you 129 miles on a gas vehicle. Compare that to the electric version of the said Hyundai Kona, it gives you double the range for the same $57.60. But here's my take and summary in perspective of everything is Antigua is only 108 square miles, about 15 to 16 miles from the furthest points in any direction. So let's call that 25 miles of road. However, persons are commuting mostly to and from the capital, that's St. John's, where they're doing most of their driving. So they're driving in and around St. John's, if anything, and they head back home at the end of the day. I don't believe that most persons in Antigua are doing 100 miles of driving daily. I'm not referring to taxi drivers and truck drivers and so on. Just persons who use their vehicle from home to work. You do a little bit of odds and ends, do your grocery shopping, and then you're back home. St. John's to Freetown is approximately 15 miles of road, while St. John's to English Harbour is about 12 miles of road. So most persons living closer rather than further from the capital, it's really easy for them to have an EV. It's not as difficult as people would think, right? Another point of contention for a lot of people as to why they don't own an EV is, what about the parts? Who's gonna fix it? There's no warranty because there's no one here selling it. Those are valid points for now, but in a few years, maybe 10 or less, you have less options for non-electric cars. It's all going to be either hybrids or electric, I can guarantee you. Also, I officially serviced my Nissan Leaf for the first time in about 4 years since I've owned it, and the cost is about $600 to $700, and that should be it for another 3 to 4 years. Bearing in mind the only other maintenance cost I have is the changing of the tires, washer fluid. There's no oil to be changed, so my annual servicing fees are almost nil compared to someone driving a gas vehicle. At the end of the day, you have to do your own calculations and based on your travel needs, costs, etc., and your general preference, decide whether or not an EV is for you. If you found this video useful, hit the like button and subscribe. Leave a comment to keep the discussion going, and I look forward to your feedback. More times. Take care.